Do you guys ever just walk at night and listen to true crime podcasts? Let's talk about the case I was listening to tonight. Tonight, I think I went through 3 different podcasts covering the disappearance of Brandon Swanson. And each of them had a slightly different version to the story. So I dug a little deeper, and this is what I came up with as the full story to Brandon's disappearance. It's right after midnight on May 14, 2008, and Brandon Swanson is on his way home from celebrating the end of the spring semester with his college friends from Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby, Minnesota. So Brandon's headed home, and it's about a 30-mile drive, and there's a highway called State Highway 68 that takes him directly home. But Brandon doesn't take State Highway 68. Brandon actually takes these like backcountry gravel roads that are not lit at all. And most people think he does this because he received a DUI a couple years prior to this and didn't want to risk getting another one since he was out partying and just having a good time with some friends. His friends said that Brandon didn't seem like he was actually drunk, but I think, and most people think, that he was avoiding State Highway 68 just to not get pulled over, not to risk it at all. At some point on his drive home, he gets stuck in a ditch on the side of the road. And first he calls his friends for help, and then he calls his parents. So his parents and Brandon himself, they live in Marshall, Minnesota. He tells his parents, hey, I got my car stuck on the side of the road in a ditch. I think I'm in near Lind, Minnesota, which is about 7 miles away from his hometown of Marshall. His parents get out of bed, they get in their car, and they start looking for Brandon near Lind. They're on the phone. They're both trying to blink their lights. They're trying to signal to find each other. They can't find each other anywhere. And this isn't a huge town. This is a town of like a population of around 500 people. So it can't be too hard at all to find each other. Brandon gets frustrated. He hangs up the phone. His mom calls him back shortly after this, and she tells him, hey, sorry, let's figure this out. Once they hop back on the call, they try to find each other again, but they still can't find each other. At this point, Brandon tells his parents, you know what? I think I see the town of Lind nearby. I think I see the lights of the town. I'm going to walk that way, and I'll meet you guys at the Lind Tavern. So his dad drops off his mom at home, and he goes to the Lind Tavern to meet up with Brandon. And this whole time, Brandon and his dad are on the phone. While they're on the phone, Brandon's walking his dad through exactly where he's going and what he's seeing. So he's telling his dad that he's hopping over different fences, he's cutting across different farms, and that he hears rivers nearby. About 47 minutes into the call, this is around 3:10 a.m., Brandon says, oh, and the call goes silent. His dad hangs up and tries to call Brandon again, but gets no response at all. This will be the last time that anyone ever hears from Brandon. On the same day, Brandon's friends and family and law enforcement search up and down Lind. They can't track down his car anywhere. So law enforcement actually traces the pings from Brandon's phone when he was talking to his parents, and they see that these pings are coming from 25 miles away from Lind near Porter, Minnesota, and they find his car near Taunton, Minnesota, which is also right around 20-ish miles away from Lind. So Brandon was nowhere near where he thought he was. And now at this point, it's been almost 16 years. There's still been no sign of Brandon anywhere. When I got back from this walk, we actually recorded episode 3 of the Cold Case Cafe podcast discussing Brandon's disappearance from every single angle we could really find. Check it out, and I'll see you guys on the next walk.